and welcome to this winter and holiday edition of Bridges Over Barriers. I'm Gina Ryan, Director of Hardin County Educational and Community Television, and we want to bring you some information today that really is important to many of the people that live in our community that they just don't have the means to sometimes make it on their own. And Bridges Over Barriers really wants to connect you to what services our Family Resource Youth Service Centers provide at all of our high schools, but also the departments that support that. And a new organization, I would think that this organization has been in existence maybe 6 years, 7 years. We'll share a little bit more with that, Jessica. So joining me today is Jessica Durance, and she is over a program that really helps our homeless, displaced students and or families, and she can get a lot of assistance, but she still needs a lot of support too. All right, so Jessica, for our audience, tell us who you are, and I know you are a graduate of the Hardin County Schools, so yay there. Yes. And talk about your background and then the position that you hold.
Yeah. So I'm Jessica Durance. I am a graduate of Central Hardin, and then I got my bachelor's at University of Louisville, and then my master's of social work from Campbellsville. And I've been with the district since November of last year. I'm the Family Stability Program Coordinator, and I work in the district as a social worker. Like you said, that program mostly works with families and students who are on the verge of maybe experiencing homelessness, are already homeless. We kind of try to step in and connect them to the resources that already exist, and then hunt down resources that maybe don't exist yet or are newer that families just don't know about, and we try to get them connected with those things.
How do you find out about the people that you need to help?
Yeah, so they are usually sent my way from the resource coordinators in the school. So whether that's the youth service center in the middle and high or the family resource in the elementary schools, they usually are the ones who send or refer people to me. But really anyone in the school building can kind of be that first person to notice. Bus drivers, our transportation, the food service workers in our cafeterias, maybe they can kind of notice some signs, and it's really come from anyone in the building, but usually it comes directly to me from the family resource.
So Jessica, what's the process, from finding out to getting services?
So I would encourage anyone who's watching this and maybe is struggling a little bit right now or knows of someone with a student in our school system who's struggling to always connect first with those resource coordinators. They're sometimes it might not even get to me if it's not a housing issue. They are the most plugged in people in the county. They know where all the resources are, and they're just amazing. So I would encourage any family member to reach out to them first, see, kind of just explain what's going on, and then if it comes to me, then it'll come to me, and we'll work together with the resource coordinators to do what we can.
And what types of services is available?
Yeah.
Available, sorry.
Yeah. Right now, being December, we've got a lot of our holiday assistance is kind of happening actively and starting to wrap up as we approach winter break. So just for next year, if that's something that families need assistance with, we always do the signups for that during October. So that's when they would reach out to their resource coordinator and let them know that they need some help with providing Christmas for their family. I know we just got done with Thanksgiving, and there's lots of community agencies that provide meals for Thanksgiving, turkeys, whether you're going in, picking up, or it's being delivered to the home. We have so many great community partners that help us do the holiday assistance. We've got Rods and Machines that help adopt families and buy gifts and kind of clear out their Christmas lists. We partner with Salvation Army, who does the angel tree, Helping Hand of Hope that does affordable Christmas. We have so many more. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but it's just, we couldn't do it, just by ourselves as the school system. So we have a lot of great community partners.
What's the number? Any idea or a ballpark?
I don't know that, yeah.
But all ages?
Yeah, as any student, yep. Oh, law enforcement, that's the one I forgot. That's helped with Shop with a Cop.
Exactly, and we have videotaped some of those experiences, and they're absolutely priceless.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It is just wonderful. And those at home may not have an awareness, but we do have teenagers who are not with their parents. So how can you assist those teenagers? Because they definitely, and many of them do want to finish school and maybe stay in the area.
Right, and we want to make sure that we assist them in finishing school and getting them plugged into resources. So I don't, like you said, I don't think people are aware that we have as many as we do that are considered what we call unaccompanied youth. So they could be 18, they might be younger than 18, but they are not living with their family in the home. They've moved out for whatever reason, whether that's they want to move out, or they've been kicked out and told to leave, or the resources just aren't there for the family and they're trying to step out on their own and pull together some stuff. So we do work with them. Again, the youth service coordinators, filling out FAFSAs with them, helping them apply for benefits if they're eligible, just anything that we can do to kind of make sure that they can still focus on school and finish strong.
Now, with the housing component, what does that look like?
Yeah. So I do my best to try and find what's available in our area and what's doable for a family. There are several agencies that will assist with the deposit and rental assistance in getting into a place. If they're already in a place, we try to do our best to help them get caught up so they can stay there, because there's not a lot of housing right now available in Hardin County, especially not affordable housing. So we do what we can to try and find spots and empower and walk alongside these families so that they can apply for living situations. But yeah, we need more partners with landlords that are willing to accept assistance from us, or willing to take a chance on a family that might just need, a little bit of help getting back on their feet.
When this program was initiated, I'm assuming through Terry Morgan, in terms of she is so passionate and is a wonderful superintendent, and I'm not sure how the program started, what initiated it, but I just remember that when it was like, wow, we haven't done that. I mean, that is a very unique thing, and most school districts do not have anything comparable.
Yes. So most school districts, if not all school districts, are supposed to have a McKinney-Vento liaison. So that's kind of, I think, what started this program is that position being put into place, and that is just a position that's focused on making sure that homeless students are able to still attend their school of origin, have equal access to all academic and even extracurricular activities, whether it's through assisting with transportation or removing fees, any of those barriers that would make it more difficult for that student to stay at their school. And so this program goes the extra step after that. So not only is this the McKinney-Vento area of the district, but we also try to do what we can to not only identify those students, but try to provide their families with the resources they might need.
We, of course, are in an area that is going to be exploding in terms of size and the number of people. And some people think, oh, well, there should be jobs here, there, and everywhere, which there are. But there are a lot of things that stand in the way, too, of being able to work jobs. And so, especially with high school students, you have transportation, then you need to be able to put, if you don't have a vehicle, don't have your license, and then, or money to put in for gas or whatever. Are those some of the things that you all could address in any way?
Yeah, so we do our best to assist step in with transportation. Unfortunately, transportation is one of those things in our community that we just really haven't built up yet. We don't really have a public transportation service in the way that a lot of students need, but there's a lot of agencies. We have Grace Garage. So Grace Garage provides, or they work to provide car help and car repairs to single mothers who maybe not be able to afford repairing their car, but that car is, their main source of getting to work, getting the kids to school, getting to doctor's appointments. I mean, everything you can think of. We don't really have a lot of housing in the area that is walkable to jobs or to everyday needs like that. So,
well, one of the things that came up just recently, and I just thought, that's a little thing that can be done, but a young lady came to our facility saying that she was supposed to meet one of the Frisky coordinators, that her washer and dryer had broken, and that she has a house full of children and those others that she helps tend to. And so that was one of those things that they were helping her to find. And so what are some of those pieces of the pie that might be over there? And again, this isn't something like, oh yes, I've got to have that couch.
Yes, yes.
Everything. But there might be some utilities or equipment that
sure.
could come in handy.
We're very, very lucky to have lots of donors in the community that have donated furniture, appliances to us, and then pass the word along so that someone they know who has something that's in great condition, good condition, that they want to donate. So we kind of have it depends on the day on what's available over in the warehouse. But right now we've got several appliances, we've got some furniture, we've got beds, and I would encourage anyone in the community who has things in great condition, they can reach out to me through email and just kind of send me a picture. And if I have limited space, so I'm not always going to be able to accept donations, but we try to fit what we can when it comes to beds, mattresses, tables and chairs, couches, things like that.
And refrigerators,
ovens,
dryers.
Yeah, washers, dryers. Yeah.
Now, is there any cost to those?
No. So those have been donated from members in the community. The resource coordinators will reach out to me and say, hey, do you have this over there right now? I know of a family in need of it. And if we've got it, we will do our best to try and make it work on organizing pickup, or if we have to organize drop-off. That's always a little tricky on trying to figure out how we're going to get something somewhere, but we will do it.
Now, is there a process where they have to, I'm assuming they have to bring it to you?
Yes, so that's the best case scenario, is if they have something they want to donate, they are able to bring it and drop it off to the warehouse. And that's just a matter of connecting with me, and I'll let you know when I'm here. I'm here most days, but it's nice to kind of be able to plan if we need more bodies to help move it off the vehicle and into the warehouse. That's always nice to know ahead of time as well.
Right, and there's probably things that you can't take either, right?
And it just depends, too, on how much space I've got at the time. Sometimes we get stuff in and it moves out very quickly because it just seems to be one of those months where everybody's needing a little extra stuff. But sometimes I start to build up over there and there's not as much room to accept donations. So we appreciate people offering, and don't get your feelings hurt if I can't take it at that time, but we'll sure try.
In addition to the physical nature, you know, when you're homeless and everything like that, it's just it just weighs on you. So that physical pain of not having shelter, or not knowing where your next meal's going to come from, or, you know, what are you going to do? What kinds of emotional or social services can be provided to these individuals?
We have a lot of great partners in our schools that provide counseling services to our students. We have some case management in the schools as well. And so connecting with the school counselor, or again, those resource coordinators, are able to kind of pair students up with hopefully the help that they need. They can get right there in the school day, and they don't have to worry about trying to find time to get to those appointments outside of the school day.
You mentioned earlier the community support for the different giving around the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, and that applications are turned in. But there's a lot of people that are not in that group, but something happens and they need some support, and it's an emergency. It's something that's come out of the blue. And what is the Friskies' role in that?
Yeah, so I mean, depending on the nature, sometimes it's just, hey, I got cut off from some of my hours at work due to illness, or as big as we've had house fires in our district very recently. And the coordinators just are able to kind of come together, and hopefully we can fill in those gaps that maybe the agencies outside of the community are able to not pick up, and then we are able to kind of connect the families with the right resources.
Any stories that you can tell? A couple of stories about individuals that you've helped, and, you know, warms your heart. This is a season of giving, so we're all good for a good story.
Yeah. Well, we just last winter, I think it was after the holidays, and a lot of people might remember this, over in the north end of our county, one of our families had a house fire, and they lost a lot, pretty much everything. And so the resource coordinator at the school kind of did this call out to the public of, hey, we're going to pull together what we can. This is what we're in need of. And our phones and our emails were just like ringing off the hook with people who wanted to give what they could, even if it was just, hey, I have some toys that my kids, have replaced with Christmas gifts and we want to give it to the kids. Or I have furniture I want to give, I have dishes I want to donate. People came and gave labor once we were able to get a new trailer, help the family find a new trailer. People gave labor on repairs that needed to be done, building a deck. It was really, really amazing because not only was that family super blessed, but it was just very heartwarming to see the community kind of come out and come together to help that family.
What kinds of numbers are we dealing with when it comes to homeless?
So a lot of people, I think, don't realize what qualifies as homeless under McKinney-Vento. So I think people picture somebody on a street in the woods, like not sheltered at all, but it can include families who are living maybe in a hotel or motel in the area. If the housing is not fixed or stable, if it's an unsafe environment due to structural issues. A lot of the families that we work with that end up coming to us are what is considered doubled up. So they are staying with family, friends, a neighbor who has let them kind of come in and stay while they try and figure out their next steps. So all of those qualify as McKinney-Vento and would make the student eligible for McKinney-Vento services. So if they were going to one of our schools in one part of the county and the friends that they're able to stay with are in another part of the county, as long as they connect with the resource coordinators, we're able to set up busing to make sure that they can still be going to their home school or their school of origin where they started, just to kind of keep up something consistent, even though there's so much up and down. But as far as numbers go, we kind of stay between, in the last, again, I've been here now just over a year, and it's been right around like 150 students, and then it kind of varies based on stuff that's being reported, and sometimes we find out like, oh wow, this family has been living doubled up and didn't realize the resources that were available to them.
It must feel great when you get to help someone out that way.
It's pretty
But
awesome.
also sad stories too.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's just something, having you there and our Frisky coordinators and things that can really help carry a little bit of that burden too, which is difficult also with you carry the burden. Is it harder around the holidays?
I think it definitely is. A lot of families want to, maybe they weren't aware of holiday assistance programs that existed, and they are spending extra money around this time to make sure their kids have gifts and different things, and they can give the holiday, make it magical for their families. And I think sometimes we find people that, it's tight, things are more expensive, it's harder right now, and so it kind of gets to the point where it's like a little short on some bills maybe, because we are wanting to make sure that we can have the holiday that we want for our family.
How can people get in touch?
Yes, so again, I bragged on them so much, but the first point of contact is always going to be the resource coordinator.
Don't jump the fence. Go to your resource coordinator.
Because that's it. If you call me first, I'm going to connect you back to the resource coordinator, just because they are plugged into the resources that are near that school, near that side of the county, and then we work together. So reach out to them first, and then if you have donations that you would like to give to our program or would hope to donate, email's the best way, just so I can get a photo of the thing and see if we can make space for it. And my email is jessica.durance@hardin.kyschools.us.
Awesome. And for those, hours are variable and because it really kind of depends in terms of that. And so the knowledge of where the building is located and things like that, all of that is taken care of after contact's been made and the case has been opened.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much
you.
for coming and joining us today. And I don't think that you would mind me saying she has a beautiful baby boy that is the perfect Christmas present for your parents and his parents as well.
Yeah.
So happy happy baby.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I hope you have nice holidays and everything. And really, thank you for what you do for our district. It makes so much of a difference. It really
Yes,
does.
thank you for highlighting our program.
And that's it for this edition of Bridges Over Barriers. Again, if you can, if you have donations that would be worthwhile, get in touch with Jessica Durant or meet with your Family Resource Youth Service Center at all of our schools and donate what you can. Thank you and have a wonderful holiday season and be safe.